Hello and welcome back to one of our mini training sessions on Workbooks CRM aimed at existing Workbooks users or indeed anyone seriously looking at Workbooks as a new CRM system. And in this one, we're going to cover the mobile app for Workbooks. So those of you as Workbooks users, you're already familiar, benefiting from how Workbooks can streamline your business processes, and enhance your relationships with customers. But are you harnessing its full potential on your mobile device? Whether you're in the office or out and about visiting clients, maybe working from home, the Workbooks mobile app can keep you connected in a real-time way and be productive. So in the next few minutes, we'll explore how the mobile app can help your daily workflow. You'll see the main features it has, and hopefully if you're not using it right now, it's going to be a bit of encouragement for you to give it a go. And here's some interesting stats on the increasing use of mobile devices. These particularly relate to the UK. 2022 in the UK, 94% of online adults using apps on their smartphones or tablets. App usage has increased by up to 50% in some markets over the last 2 years. 85% of internet users check their email on their smartphones, rising to 90% in those aged 25 to 34. So these stats demonstrate, and I think we all see it, a clear trend towards increasing use of mobile devices and bring your own devices and app usage for business purposes in the UK, really sort of outpacing the desktop in many areas. However, it's worth noting that the desktop still plays a significant role. You know, you've got the full experience of Workbooks on your desktop in your browser, and the mobile is really complementary in a way. It just enhances productivity for those users who are out and about. And in the age of bring your own device, you know, you have employees, co-workers, they've got their own mobile devices. The app's free. It's just a no-brainer not to use it. So hello, my name is Tim Wilmot, joined by my colleagues Stuart Lawrence and Hind. Our company, Wizard Systems, are a leading independent CRM solutions provider of systems like Workbooks. And we help out organizations use simple solutions, affordable solutions to improve their sales, marketing, and customer service productivity. So thanks very much those of you on here live for this event, one of our series of little mini training sessions on Workbooks. I say we're going to cover that mobile app in this one. Now, the audio part of this call is one way only. If you've got a question on anything we're going on about, then pop that into the question section on your meeting control panel. We'll do that at the end. We'll give you a few updates to what's happening on the Workbooks CRM scene as well. All right, so let's dive in then and see what it's all about.
I had a look at an early version of the mobile app about a year ago. So we thought it was a good idea to come back and look at the updates Workbooks have applied to the app. Now, I'm going to try and use the pen during this demo. Hopefully this will show where I'm pointing rather than things magically opening. So the first thing I've done is I've gone ahead and opened the app. And so we can go through this from the very start. This is the logon screen. And you'll see straight away it handles all the logon protocols that the browser version deals with. So Google, Microsoft, Apple, and Okta. Now for this demo, I'm just going to use the standard username and password option. If I click on login, I get the databases that's available. For this, I'm just going to pick the training database and give it a few seconds, and it loads things for me. Now there are a few things we can see that are different straight away. There's no company wallpaper or logo. This is by design, and it's to reduce the amount of data that you're using. Right, what can we see? Now, first thing we've got is Workbooks on the app still supports themes. I'm using the green theme. If you'd rather use the clean theme, it's available to use there. So I've got a start menu. I've got the standard icons. Start, search, recent, open pages, and notifications across the bottom. And on that note, I think it's worth taking a look at the preferences, as there are some options that can help us, the app user. So for this, I'm going to click on the Workbooks logo to open the menu. I go up to preferences, and the app loads with some presets, but we can change these if we want. The two that I want to show you are text and spacing. They're sort of in the middle of the screen at the moment. And the reason for this is because we're on a mobile device, the app knows this, the workbook system knows this. So it's increased the spacing between the various fields that you've got on the system. We'll see this a little bit more in action as we use the app. But it's just what I pointed out there. If you find that actually things appear too far apart, you can come into here and adjust the spacing if you need it. If I scroll a little bit further down, you'll notice things that I said, things like the wallpaper option is off. You can't select it. Again, as I mentioned, that's by design. One thing you'll not see is the menu that should be down the left-hand side. This on the app is always hidden. And to reveal it, you click on the little rectangular icon on the left-hand side, and the menu reveals itself, and then I have access to a few more options if I need them. To close the menu, I tap on it again, and it closes. So let's go back to the home screen. So this is my desktop. It includes items that I've pinned to it and any icons that I've asked Workbooks to place there. Okay, so let's open a record to see what may be different. I've got Mr. Gene Kelly here, a record that I've pinned to the desktop. If I open it, we can see that spacing that I mentioned makes it easier for me to move around and see things and select things. You're using your hand or your finger to move around the screen, so it's just a little bit cleaner to use things as I see fit. The tabs are still there across the top. I can use the arrows to move backwards and forwards. Or to view them all, I can click on these three bars here on screen and reveal all the tabs that are available to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the organization that Gene Kelly is associated with. And again, a single click opens it for me. Same setup, nice clean view, and the space and all the text nicely spaced out. While I'm on this record, I'm going to show what happens when the phone is switched to landscape mode. The app is aware of this and switches the view accordingly. I can now see more apps across the top. The menu has moved, and I can now see more information as the display has switched to the two columns that I'd almost expect to see in my browser. A simple scroll just to give you an idea of the better look. Let me move my phone back. The portrait. The system puts itself ready again. So one thing we will notice is the menu bar now has an icon on it with the number 2. And this is to let me know that I've got 2 pages open. If this was a desktop browser, of course, I'd easily see the multiple pages, but here every page opens full screen and they're behind each other. If I click on this option here, it shows me the open pages. I can then select one of them if I want to jump straight in, or I can click on the icon again to close it, and I'm back on the record. Well, as we're on an organization, let's take a look at some data. I'm going to click on the 3 bars and go to opportunities. As you can see, I can carry out the same functions as I could if I was on a desktop browser. So if I open an opportunity here, here's my opportunity. I get the same buttons again, almost. Because as I mentioned, my screens can't show everything. So it hides things within these 3 bars. And as before, we get the copy, new, email, the various functions that you'd normally see down the side of the screen. So all of this is to make sure that the screen isn't overloaded with functions or buttons, but it's all still there for you to use. So let me close all of these screens and go back to the home screen. Now, one of the functions that most of us will use all the time is activities. Let's have a look. On my screen, I've got it stored as a view called today. If I give it a tap, there's my calls still to make. I can see there are 3 items, though I didn't enter much information to make it helpful. That's okay. If I tap on one of them, I'll tap the top, it takes me into a little pop-up where I can see a little bit more information about what's expected. And from here, I can open this activity by clicking on the icon with the arrow in the top right, or I can close this pop-up and just return to the activities. Again, all nice and clean, but the functions and the buttons are still there if needed. Let me close this, go back to my desktop. Now, you see me clicking around. We all know about clicking on items on a mobile device, a single press to select something. The Workbook app has another nice little feature, the long press. When we click on an item, it opens, just as you'd expect. But what Workbooks have done is they use a feature called the long press. Let me show you what I mean. Now, I've pinned a record to my desktop, that Aero Systems, and I no longer need it there. I've finished working with it. I can remove it and carry on with work. To remove it, if I press and hold my finger on it, a hidden menu appears. And now I can open that record. I can rename that shortcut, or the bit I want to do is I can remove it. And now when I go back to my desktop, it's gone. Now, long press feature works around the app. So it's worth having a look so you can see what it can do. But I'll leave that for you to find out. And there we have it, the new and improved Workbooks app. And Tim, back to you.
Thanks very much, Stuart. So if you're not using it, please download the app and start using it. It's free. It works on all modern devices. So yeah, hopefully that's given you a flavor for what's in it, and you'll be encouraged to download it and use it. Right. So at this part of the proceedings, we do open up the event to any questions you've got. While you're thinking about that, just a reminder about who Wizard Systems are. So we are CRM only suppliers. All we do is CRM. We've been doing it a long, long time. We've had a long association with Workbooks, well over 13 years. And as regards Workbooks, we provide a one-stop shop. So anything you need as regards implementing, getting the most out of the solution, integrating it to other applications, customizing it to your requirements, providing you training at your place, our place, or online, and the ongoing help desk support as well. So if you get stuck, have a query, we're just a quick phone call away. Right. So questions. I think we've got a few coming in, Stuart. Question from Stephen. Pretty obvious one. Can you send emails from the app?
Yes, you can. If you've got the Exchange sync, what was called the WES, it's fully integrated, just sends. And if you don't, I mean, I didn't show that feature, but when you go to send an email from the app, in other words, you click on a person's email address in the app, you'll get a little menu that asks, what do you want to do? And one of the options, for instance, is you can email with the Dropbox function. And if you aren't aware of the Dropbox function, again, we can assist you with that. But yeah, I suppose in an easy answer, yes, you can.
Okay. Justin, how secure is the mobile app? What measures are in place to protect sensitive customer data if my device is lost or stolen?
Oh, good question. It's as safe as your desktop version and your mobile device. And by this, I mean it uses, as you saw at the start, the same username password combo. So someone would need to know that to get into Workbooks. And for extra security, what I suggest, if you don't already have auto lock set on your phone, set one. Workbooks by default will stay logged in as long as your desktop settings allow, and you can see that in your preferences. So what I mean is that by using a lock screen that comes in after so many minutes of inactivity, you know that your Workbooks is safe. So it's a combination of two, the inactivity feature in Workbooks and the lock screen on your mobile.
Yeah, and I would add two things to that. First of all, there's no data on your device, and also the founders, the creators of Workbooks, their background was in the IT security industry. So, the product is very, very secure. Yeah, good question, Justin. Thanks very much. Hannah, can I customize the mobile app interface to show the most relevant information for my job role, similar to how I've set it up on my desktop version?
All right.
Yeah, I mean, which is a key part of Workbooks. You can customize records depending on your job role. So salespeople will see maybe a little bit different information to, say, a marketing person or a manager or whatever. So that, I guess, is the question there.
Yeah, the app replicates your browser desktop. So if you've got things pinned to it and shortcuts pinned to it and views, when you open the app, you'll see those same things pinned to the desktop, the things that are relevant to you.
Okay. Next question from Mike. I'm trying to follow on my app. It is different. Do I need a new version? Yeah, that probably relates to what we said earlier. If it's if Mike's using an older app.
It could be one of two things. Yeah, it could be worth checking and going to your particular app store and checking to see if there's a later version, or it could be the view. There are slight differences in sort of, I don't want to say look and feel between the two apps. The clean one is sort of multicolored and a more blue interface, whereas today I used the green theme, which is Workbook's new style, so that they may look and act slightly differently. But personal choice, I would switch to green. It seems to be the way that they are going.
Yeah, you'll see from the website and so on. So, yeah, Mike's added something else. We'll check on that later, Mike. Yvonne, can you send out emails with attachments from Dropbox? I guess that's email Dropbox, as you would do on the desktop version. Good question.
Yeah, again, it's the same functionality. So I don't know whether she means the Dropbox function or the Dropbox application that you can use, but yes, emailing within the app works as you'd expect it to work in, I'll call it desktop.
Yeah. So it should be fairly transparent there, Yvonne. Right. Don't think there's any more questions coming through. So thanks very much to the 5 of you for those. Right. Let's just gradually draw things to a close. So current release of Workbooks is 7.3. Would you appreciate a CRM review there? If it's been some time since we've done a review where by an online meeting, no charge, we'll inspect your system and hopefully come up with some good suggestions going forward for you to get better use out of it. So please contact any of us at Wiz Assistance for that. There are things to watch out for coming up soon with Workbooks. First of all, AI is being introduced. So we'll make further announcements shortly. And also there's some nice new integrations to a system, a UK system called Force24, which is an inbound, outbound marketing platform. So Workbooks is very strong on marketing. Absolutely brilliant with all the marketing options it's got. This further strengthens its position in that marketing space. So watch out for those integrations with Force24, emailing, and also an SMS option if you're using SMS. So yeah, we'll keep you posted on future 101s. Right. Okay. Thanks very much, all of you on here live. If you've got any suggestions for future topics, please contact us that you think might be of interest, topics that might be of interest to other Workbooks users. But thanks very much for tuning in, and we'll catch up with you soon on the next event. Thanks very much indeed. Bye-bye.